Greetings, everyone, and thank you for joining the conversation. This is your host, CJ Ward, and I'm joined again today with my awesome co-host, Dana Branham. Dana, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, blessed, and highly favored.
Hey, amen to that.
Taking it to the church for you today.
Absolutely. I'm here with you. So, now to here at a Conscientious Conversation is a term as a conversation that requires only two or more willing individuals, an open and honest conversation, a conversation with the intent of improving the quality of life for the entire country and not just for select groups of this United Nation. So let us have a seat and discuss. So today, Dana and I are joined with the awesome and dynamic Miss Cara Stewart. Welcome today, Cara. How are you doing today?
Thank you.
Thank you. That was very kind. Well, like a lot of days, I am running behind and trying to keep things together. But I'm happy to be here to talk to you all.
Hey,
we understand.
No, definitely. No worries. So if you would like to introduce yourself to the people just so they know who you are, what field you're in, and we can just go from there.
Well, I am a person who's born and raised at the head of a holler in Eastern Kentucky. I spent most of COVID back in that holler, and that was wonderful. But I also live in Covington in Northern Kentucky, and I am married. I have a 12-year-old son who is actually a relatively new addition to our family, just a little over a year ago. Yes. And I work as an advocate. I work at Kentucky Voices for Health, which is a statewide nonpartisan nonprofit. I've worked in nonprofit life my whole career. Worked with a tiny stint in state government. I was the chief of staff for the House Democrats in Frankfurt. So I've always done mission-driven service work for my daytime, and always tried to fill in where my talents fit in my community. I'm always trying to find the place where my skills fit in my community. Because a lot of times it's really easy to just do what comes in front of you. And I'm always trying to rebalance that scale to figure out where are the needs in my community, and where are my talents, and how can I blend those in a way that has the best impact. That's
awesome.
So with everything going on in this world right now, we just, I can't even list the things.
No.
You can't.
You can't, right? So, what are some of the needs that, like, maybe community-based, maybe statewide or even nationwide, that really is requiring our attention right now?
Well, that list is infinite. Because we live in a state of deep injustice and deep inequality and inequity. But I try not to get overwhelmed by that. And, it's every day I tell myself I do the best I can with what I got where I am. But I'm also, trying to figure out, I wake up every day. What am I wrong about? What do I need to understand differently? Who knows something about that I don't know? Anytime I need to understand something, I assume someone has spent their career figuring whatever that was out. Right. There is probably a book or 10 about whatever I'm trying to understand. And so I'm trying to, figure that out. But sort of a couple of overwhelming things right now is we're still in this global pandemic, which has changed everything about our world. And none of us really know how to process that constant collective anxiety, because we all have a slightly heightened level of anxiety no matter what. And then we also have more honesty coming to what has always been existing of horrible racial injustice in our country. Like, that's not new. We started we started having Black people in America by horribly abusing and kidnapping them and hauling them across the boat from West Africa. Like, there is no worse way to get started. We didn't ever really fix it. And now we are having a tiny little opening where more people are willing to talk about what that means. And even feeling hope for that, though, is really scary and hard for me. And I'm a white lady. but even feeling like, oh, these conversations, because I went to Berea College where those conversations did happen every day in my life 20 years ago. And then I left there and it was like,
Yeah.
nobody talked about it.
Right.
I was like,
Yet it's still going on.
right. And so I had this experience where I spent 4 years, like almost every day, talking about how white supremacy is baked into every part of our day and every part of our lives, and baked into the way we, whatever it is. If there's something about how we fill prescriptions, there's probably white supremacy baked into it, and it's just a matter of figuring out where it is or how it is. To just all of a sudden, that was not a part of any conversation anywhere, at least not where I was. And so now that door's been opened up again, which is hopeful and scary, because you have to be vulnerable to have that hope that the conversation will continue.
And that it'll bring change, because it's one thing to have the conversations, but it's another thing to actually bring change from it, because we can have a whole lot of conversations and then go home and do nothing different.
Nothing ever was handed, all about respect, never about ego. Wish I could have retired a long time ago and disappeared way beyond the trees. But my homies kept influencing me, said they needed to hear my lyrics, like my flow, cause they felt my spirit. Plus the people needed to hear it. A conversation with conscientious lyrics.